Alright, let's break down what really happened with that controversial vote in Congress about the Boulder, Colorado attack. On June 10, 2025, the U.S. House of Representatives took up a resolution, H-Res 1285, meant to formally condemn a violent attack that happened just 9 days earlier. In Boulder, a man named Mohammed Sabri Solomon attacked a peaceful demonstration with homemade Molotov cocktails. The demonstrators were marching in support of hostages held by Hamas. 14 people were injured, some badly burned, and one of the victims was a Holocaust survivor. According to authorities, Solomon shouted "Free Palestine" and told investigators he'd planned the attack for over a year, saying he wanted to kill all Zionist people. The House's response? A strongly worded resolution calling the attack both anti-Semitic and terrorist in nature. Seems like condemning an attack like this should be a bipartisan slam dunk, right? But here's the twist. When the vote came down, 113 Democrats actually voted against the resolution. So why did that happen? Let's dig into the details. The resolution was written and introduced by Republican Congressman Joe Evans from Colorado. It didn't just condemn the violence, it also went into Solomon's background. He was an Egyptian national who entered the U.S. on a tourist visa in 2022, then filed for asylum, overstayed his visa, and had run-ins with law enforcement in Colorado before the attack. The resolution criticized what it called failures of the asylum system and focused heavily on his immigration status, and that's where things got complicated. Some Democrats, like Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal and Congressman Jerry Nadler, said they absolutely condemned the attack. But the way the resolution was written crossed a line. They said it was loaded with what they called anti-immigrant rhetoric. That it went beyond condemning anti-Semitism or terrorism, and instead used one man's crime to push a broader political message about immigration. Nadler even argued that the language would just fan the flames of anti-immigrant bigotry. So, those 113 Democrats voted no, not because they supported the attack, but because they objected to the way the resolution linked violence to immigration and the asylum system. They actually tried to push through their own version, one that condemned the attack and anti-Semitism, but without the immigration language. That proposal was rejected by Republicans who stood by the original text. Of course, Republicans saw the vote differently. Congressman Evans, the resolution's sponsor, accused Democrats who voted no of, quote, standing with the pro-Hamas wing of their party over condemning a violent anti-Semitic terrorist attack. From their perspective, anything less than a full-throated condemnation, including the immigration angle, was just political posturing. So what does all this really mean? Well, it shows how even moments of national horror can get tangled up in the politics of language and identity. Condemning terrorism and anti-Semitism, that's the easy part. But the deeper debates about immigration, asylum, and what kind of country the U.S. wants to be, those are way harder to untangle. At the end of the day, the resolution passed, 298 in favor, 113 against. But the split wasn't just about the attack. It was about the story the resolution tried to tell, and which parts of that story Congress was willing to sign their names to. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay updated on how politics and policy collide, hit subscribe, and let's keep asking the hard questions.